Hello, welcome back to Everyday Eternal, where we try to find eternal truths in everyday situations. So here's our everyday situation for today. Are there like rainbows all around here? I think so. Something happened with the lens, but I'll take the rainbows. Woohoo! Anyhow, today I heard a phrase that I don't like, a word that I don't like. And so I want to talk a little bit about a phrase that I've heard a lot. And the phrase that I've heard a lot is never say never. And the word that I heard today was never. And I don't know if it's just that I'm a ministerial idealist or optimist, but when I hear in ministry the word never, I tend to cancel it and somewhat ignore it. Why? Because I would rather you say it's highly improbable or that's a difficult thing, but when it comes to the work of God, never say never. Never say never. Because nor the obvious circumstance, situation, geographic location, physical or financial limits can limit what God can do. As a matter of fact, God has a tendency to show up and to show off when things seem impossible. Preach! All right, so yeah, because I heard the word never, and so I'm kind of triggered. I'm kind of triggered because when it comes to God's things, and never say never. Never say never. I want to read to you verse 26 of the 19th chapter of the Gospel according to Matthew. And this happened, and this quote is right after the rich young man comes to Jesus and says, how can I have eternal life? And he said, I've been a good boy. I followed all the rules. And Jesus told him, you need to do more than that. And he told this rich guy, this rich young man, what I'm asking you to do is to sell everything you have and give all your money to the poor and come follow me, and then come and follow me. And the young man, when he heard this, he was truly disappointed and left sad along with all of his possessions. He could not do that. He could not give that up. And then the disciples were like, well, who can make it? Who can go in? And then they were talking about the whole metaphor analogy of it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than a rich man to get into heaven. Well, they just saw a case where somebody could not give up their possessions. Anyhow, the point is that Jesus doesn't leave it there. He says there's even hope for things that seem impossible. And he says in verse 26, chapter 19 of Matthew, but Jesus looked at them and said, for mortals it is impossible, but for God all things are possible. So, my friends, when it comes to what God can do, never say never. Never say never. You should say it's difficult. It would require a lot of work. It's improbable. All of the circumstances are against it, but when it comes to God things, nothing is impossible. So never say never. Okay, that's it. I preached. I'm so glad that you were here for another installment of Everyday Eternal. And as always, I end asking the Lord to fill your life, your home, your workplace, your place of study, your car, wherever you are, with His, and especially your heart and your mind, with His shalom. Bye. Never say never.